Surya sir, you can go live.
Yes, sir, we are live now.
Yeah. So good morning and a very warm welcome from BL Amlani Women's College.
Good
Today we
morning,
are
sir.
organizing one day e-conference on promoting financial inclusion and inclusive growth, supported by National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, Nabard. At the outset, I would like to welcome uh, Mr. Sandeep Kulkarni, the AGM of Financial Inclusion Department, Reserve Bank of India, along with other dignitaries on the virtual platform. The reason behind keeping this conference was financial inclusion is such a topic which has not been covered in the syllabus of the university across India. People still don't know about the financial inclusion, what is all about, the thirst area of financial inclusion, and why financial inclusion is been gaining momentum in so many years. As far as Nabard is concerned, you all know that the Committee of Financial Inclusion chaired by Dr. C. Rangarajan, the ex-governor of Reserve Bank of India, in his report has been stated financial inclusion in a process of access of financial services for timely and adequate credit for vulnerable groups and society. As far as Nabard is concerned, the committee recommend the institution for two funds, that is Financial Inclusion Fund, which we call FIF, and Financial Inclusion Technology Fund, FITF, with Nabard to meet the cost of various promotional and development initiatives that will lead to better credit absorption, capacity building among the poor and vulnerable sections, and for the application of technology for facilitating mandate levels of inclusion. In this regards, our college thought to organize an e-conference on financial inclusion. I would also like to quote to our honorable sir, Sandeep sir, that when we wrote to the Nabard department for such a conference, uh, there were multiple times what we did subtraction, addition of the terminology, the expectations, the outcome. Our college has a department of banking and finance.
Okay.
It's a women's college, and we have a department of banking and finance in undergraduate as well as postgraduate.
Okay.
Myself, I have done my PhD in financial inclusion.
Oh, great.
So this was the thirst area where we decided to have a financial inclusion conference exclusively. And we wanted that RBI person should speak on this because RBI is doing a great job and hard work towards this department. And none other than RBI can do justice with this title. So, sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. My sincere apologies ki I cannot hold with you for a longer time because
No, it's
this
okay.
was an unexpected call for me to reach Nagpur today. But I hope I'll be listening your YouTube once I reach,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you'll have a great session. But by the
Yes.
time the flight will fly, I am with you.
Yes. 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 Okay.
So with no less of time, sir, over to you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Principal Sir, and thanks for giving me an opportunity. And I just would love that. Matlab, you told just now you are a PhD in financial inclusion, so that is really a great thing. And I once again thank Amlani College for giving me this an opportunity. So, friends, basically, financial inclusion, that means the class of the society, those who are not having access at all to banking services, to include such people into the system of banking services or banking terminologies. There are some people in our society across India. They are staying in very remote areas or in hilly areas, so they are not having, or they even don't know. Matlab, now just a few years back, that Prime Minister Jan Dhan Yojana has started, so most of the population has been covered under that. But still there are some people, those are literally, matlab, they don't know what is a bank, and what is banking services, how saving account can be opened, or if anyone is in need of credit or a loan, so how to go about it. So basically, to create awareness among such type of people, and to financially literate them, this financial inclusion, this work is being carried out by Reserve Bank of India as well as Government of India. Government of India is also giving lots of importance to this financial inclusion field. So under this, first I will let you know, tell you about you are all are commerce students, but along with this financial inclusion, the function of Reserve Bank of India. First, I will just brief you about very other few functions of Reserve Bank of India, just for your knowledge sake. See, Reserve Bank of India is our central bank, that is the Central Bank of India of our country. And along with other major functions of this Reserve Bank of India, that is our central bank, basically the main function is formulation, implementation, and monitoring of its monetary policy. See, monetary policy is the base of every economy of each and every country. So if our monetary policy is in good shape, it has better implementation and better control, then only economy of any country runs well. So that is the main function, the formulation, implementation, and monitoring of monetary policy. Then Reserve Bank, along with monetary policy implementation and formulation, it also regulates and supervises other banks, that is be it private bank or commercial bank or cooperative bank, whatever. So Reserve Bank basically issues directions how to function, how the functions of that particular bank should go about, and simultaneously it supervises private banks or commercial banks or cooperative banks. So for this function in Reserve Bank of India, there are two separate departments. The one is Department of Regulation and another is Department of Supervision. So through Department of Regulation, Reserve Bank issues various directions or issues notifications from time to time, as declared in conformity with our financial budget presented by Honorable Finance Minister, and subsequently declaration of monetary policy by Governor of Reserve Bank of India for that particular financial year. So based on the recommendations from that financial budget and monetary policy, Reserve Bank of India issues directions in various fields of banking services or banking field, though it commercial bank, private bank, or even NBFCs also. And there is separate Department of Supervision. That Department of Supervision does the activity of inspection of those banks. So our officers team, go to that particular bank and do that inspection, that is on risk-based inspection. Then the managing of foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, as on 31st March, we are having almost $610 billion of foreign exchange. So that is almost equivalent to 12 months our import payments. So basically, to manage this foreign exchange, this is also a major task. This is also a major task of Reserve Bank of India, and this being well handled by Foreign Exchange Department of Reserve Bank of India. Along with that, there are foreign exchange derivatives or foreign exchange other products also. So to monitor and issue directions for those products, there are other departments: financial market and operation department, and financial market and regulation department, along with foreign exchange department. Then, as you all know, in day-to-day our activity, we do our transactions with the help of cash. So issuer of currency, Reserve Bank is also acting as issuer of currency. That is main function of Reserve Bank of India. So to carry out this function, there are 4 mints in across India. There are 4 mints. One is at Devas, another is at Salboni in West Bengal, another is at Mysore, and another is Nasik. So through these 4 places, Reserve Bank gets printed its notes, and those notes are being brought to various regional offices of Reserve Bank of India across India. And from those offices of Reserve Bank of India, it sends remittances to all the public sector banks or private sector banks who are having currency chests. So for this purpose also, there is to manage all the activity of this issuance of remittance of currency, then resource, and then its remittance or this printing of currency. how to print or when to print it, how much amount have to print, what denomination we have to print. So all these activities are being monitored by Department of Currency Management, that is separate department of Reserve Bank of India, Department of Currency Management. So this department entire, along with in consultation with Government of India, of course, they decide currency to be printed, and then how to after printing of currency notes, then distribution part rests with the Reserve Bank of India. But thing is that coins are not under the only distribution of coins that is being handled by Reserve Bank of India, because coins are property of Government of India. So for coins also, we are having 4 mints across India: Mumbai, Hyderabad, Alibag, Noida, and another place I don't remember right now. So these 4 mints, coins are minted by Government of India, and coins also, like currency notes, coins are also being transported to various offices of Reserve Bank of India, and Reserve Bank distributes that coins to currency chest. See, now the just topic has this there. Currency chest is small, Reserve Bank, other commercial banks like State Bank or Bank of India, or even private sector banks also, they are having currency chest. That is, they are having big currency chest, that is a big room, and having all total lock and key facility in very well, like our safe deposit lockers in our branches, you might have seen definitely. So these currency chests are given remittances by Reserve Bank of India, and from their branches, from their that currency chest, they further distribute to their respective branches under their circle office or zonal office, whatever. Then another role played by Reserve Bank of India is they perform various functions to support national objectives. As I inform you, the goals or objectives declared by the Honorable Finance Minister or even by our Governor in the monetary policy, to carry out those objectives, Reserve Bank functions in acts as developmental role. Then regulator and supervisor of payment and settlement system. Nowadays, earlier also we were carrying out our activities through debit card or credit card, but especially during this pandemic time, that is from March 2020, you might have observed, you might have noticed definitely, now the people are more oriented to making digital payment. You can see that phone pay or Paytm code or that छोटा सा मतलब वो रहता है, but even fruit vendor or even छोटा सा tea stall वाला भी जो रहता है, they are having all that QR code facility, and just for even a very small transaction, that is for 15 rupees or 20 rupees, whatever, one can easily scan and pay. So now all the residents of country, they are going towards digital payments. That is really a good thing, because Prime Minister is also having that same issue, and to Reserve Bank is also endorsing that we should have a digital payment system. So regarding to manage all these payments across India, or even how to go about it. So for this, there are, what are the restrictions? What are the precautions to be taken while undertaking financial transactions? So all these matters are being looked after by our another separate department, Department of Payment and Settlement System. Department of Payment and Settlement System, they issues various directions or various other instructions, and according to those instructions, all the banks are being informed, and this smooth operation of digital payment is carried out. Then Reserve Bank also acts as banker to government and banker to banks. See, all of us, we are having our account with different banks in your nearby area, but but Reserve Bank of India, one cannot open their individual account in Reserve Bank of India. So it is not permissible, because thing is that minimum balance has to be maintained as 1 lakh rupees, and one cannot get interest on that. So our first governor, C.D. Deshmukh, he was the only person having his individual account in Reserve Bank of India. But otherwise, Reserve Bank does not encourage this practice of opening individual accounts. But all the banks, they are having their accounts with Reserve Bank of India, and whatever we do, whatever transactions we do in our personal saving account, in that way, same way, banking transactions in other banks' accounts are also being carried out, and that is watched or monitored by Reserve Bank of India. There is one separate department, that is DGBA, Department of Government and Banking Accounts. So this department looks after our issues directions or issues notifications for regarding how to go about the government banking transactions, then how to go about transactions being done in various by various banks. Then you might have aware that banks are mandatory to maintain that CRR and SLR. So proper that limit is being maintained by each and every bank. That is being monitored by the DGBA, and after completion of financial year, also our financial year, balance sheet of Reserve Bank of India, that is also being prepared by DGBA. So just for your knowledge, from March 2021 only, Reserve Bank has changed its accounting year to in line with other commercial banks or other government accounts from April to March. Before up to that is up to March 2020, rather June 2020, up to rather June 2020, Reserve Bank was having accounting year, its accounting year, financial accounting year from July to June. So from July 2020 to March 2021, for these 9 months, Reserve Bank had its account for 9 months only. But now, as on 1st April 2021 onwards, Reserve Bank is also following same accounting year as the other banks or government agencies do follow. So that is our annual year, financial year has also been changed to April to March, like other banks. So as of now, Reserve Bank is having 27 regional offices and in 4 sub offices. You might have heard, because Reserve Bank of India is having all the offices at all state capitals. And earlier, I think before 5 to 6 years, on northeast side, Reserve Bank was having only one office at Guwahati. But now there also, though small in size, but there also Reserve Bank has started its offices, say Shillong or Agartala or Imphal, Aizawl, like that. So now these are the main functions and departments of Reserve Bank of India. So as you are commerce students, you might be aware that for our better prospects, one has to do some savings. Whatever now you are learning, but after your graduation is over, definitely you will be getting a good job and you will be getting a handsome salary. So, but along with that salary and our day-to-day expenses, we have to do some saving for our betterment. So generally, the approach towards saving is being looked as, generally saving is equal to what we get, that is what is our income, and what are our expenses, proposed expenses. Say suppose in our day-to-day life, grocery or medicines or whatever. So whatever that income of that family minus the expenses that family incurs towards a month, and whatever is left, that is generally treated as saving. But in such cases, what happens that sometimes the expenses, unexpected expenses may arise. So that saving of that family gets tips and tossed हो जाता है सब. तो इसीलिए we have to, I think we have to change our attitude or towards our perspective to look at saving. See, saving should be, ideally saving should be, rather expenses should be, our expenses should be income minus savings. Whatever we get our income, from that, first you have to keep aside some part of that income as your saving. Suppose any family gets any new job, new youth gets as a new employment. Suppose he gets 25,000 salary. Then from that salary, at least 2,000 rupees, he should keep aside for his emergency expenses. And whatever that 23,000 are remaining, he should try to manage his expenses between that within that 23,000 rupees. So I think this will be the better our view towards savings. Saving in expenses should be income minus savings. Now, after saving, generally we do keep our savings in some commercial banks or private banks or even cooperative banks, because cooperative banks generally they give 0.5% or 1% more interest than private banks or commercial banks. So, but while keeping our savings in any entity, one has to look after 3 points. That is, it should be safe. Whatever savings we are making in the banks or whatever other institutes, there are some cooperative credit societies also. They are having good businesses, but one cannot say at what time they can go out of the system, financial system. So while making savings, one has to ensure that our savings or our investment should be safe. That is the first criteria. Then second one should be, it should be liquid. It should have its liquidity. Suppose any unexpected expenses arises, someone fell ill or whatever, meets with an accident. So liquidity should be there. Suppose we go to bank and immediately we have to withdraw, say, some 20,000 rupees. So that immediate payment from the bank, that is liquidity. It's called liquidity. So liquidity should be there. So along with safety and liquidity should be there. And return also matters. Whatever return you get on your investment, because if you take more risk, then you will get more return. But the return should be adequate to our, or in proportionate to our investment. Now coming to our taking loans or advances, so that should be, loan should be also taken for fruitful purposes. मेरा क्रेडिट कार्ड का बिल देना है, या फिर मुझे और कहीं पिकनिक के लिए जाना है, ऐसे for just these personal expenses, loan should not be taken. Loan should be taken for fruitful purposes. Suppose one has to take education loan for your further education, or after getting married and all, one has to take a new flat. So that should be a investment that will get better return in future. So loan should be taken for fruitful purpose. Then it should not be taken for personal expenses, as I told you earlier. And it should be, loan should be, as far as possible, loan should be taken from regulated entities. There are some entities that are not being regulated by Reserve Bank of India, or not by Nabard or any SEBI or whatever. So they charge greater rate of interest. That is more, they charge very expensive rate of interest, and one gets if one gets bullied by that, then it will be not good for that individual employee. So loan should be availed by from regulated entities, and because these regulated entities are being inspected. I told you that department, our Reserve Bank is also having department of supervision, or even Nabard also does inspection for cooperative banks or regional rural banks. So these regulated entities are being monitored and being supervised by RBI or any other institution. So that is the benefit that investor gets, that borrower gets if he takes loan from regulated entities. And after taking loan, that habit should be inculcated in that borrower, that after getting loan, the repayment of it should be done very timely. Because once the account gets NPA, that is non-productive, and if you don't pay that installment within time, then you are in the sense that borrower's credit score also gets very affected very badly, because nowadays that CIBIL score, credit score, is being monitored or being watched by all the loan giving institutions. And if you have very low or very less credit score, that is CIBIL score, then that person may face difficulty in getting loans. So these are some basics about, of course, you are commerce students, you might have learned all this, but I thought from Reserve Bank of India side, I just brush it up upon this. So now coming to financial inclusion, financial inclusion is important for overall growth and development of economy. As I told you earlier, if you include the people who are not in the ambit of banking services, our aim or Reserve Bank's aim is that our government of India is also trying for that. They should, everyone in this country should have a banking access to banking services. So from this, our financial inclusion department also, we worked as LDO, that is lead district officer. We have been allotted some 3 or 4 districts from within our jurisdiction. That is under Mumbai regional office. We are 7 or 8 officers, managers, and AGMs. So the districts in Maharashtra that have been allocated 3 or 4 districts to each officer, and we do visit that district places. And at district level, the lead bank is there. You might have studied in your syllabus. Lead bank is the bank that is one bank allotted duty as lead bank of that particular district. Say Bank of Maharashtra, State Bank of India, Bank of India, whatever. Then one officer from that lead bank is responsible for overall development of that district. And we do interact with those LDMs. Those are the officer of that Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Very clearly.
Acha, acha, okay. I think some connection was lost in between.
Yes, sir.
So sorry for that interruption. So I was talking that we do interact with those LDMs at very frequently, say 15 days or monthly interval, and we take review from about financial inclusion matters in that particular district. So if any support from RBI, that if they require any support, suppose for policy issue or whatever, then we take that matter we raise that matter to our central office, and with their approval, we get that support. We extend that support to district level. See, financial inclusion we can define as the process of ensuring access to financial services. That is what I started my discussion with. The process of ensuring access to financial services, timely and adequate credit for vulnerable groups. Those who are in need of credit, they should get timely and adequate credit, and or weaker sections of society, and that credit should be an affordable cost. So financial inclusion includes all these 3-4 aspects. We have to cover, we have to ensure that access is given to financial services to each and everyone. They should get timely and adequate credit, those who are in need of that, and they should be credit should be on affordable cost. And so this is the thing that financial inclusion we really mean. That financial inclusion is increasingly being recognized as a key driver of economic growth and poverty alleviation. Because you might have studied in your syllabus also, if we do a good attempt increase this scope of financial inclusion across India, then it will definitely help our economy to grow, because through this financial inclusion, we also have to target we have been given target to achieving the groups which we are supposed to target. See, as senior citizens or students or self-help groups, because self-help groups is the best, or even farmers and teachers. These are the 5 categories. These are the 5 categories we are targeting for this financial inclusion. Because self-help groups, if the banks extend their loan or extend their credit to self-help groups, they are the best way, they are the best entity to increase the ambit of financial inclusion. Because the group of that some 8 to 10 ladies, they come together, they form one group, and they get credit from bank, and they can start very small activities, say pickle making or papad making or whatever, any making flower pots or making some small activities they can manage in their households, and they can generate income for their families. So we all know that women can help themselves. That is what I just now told you, and their families to come out of poverty. So reduce their risk of falling into poverty and eliminate their exploitation from informal sector, and increase their ability to fully engage in measurable and productive activities. So inclusive financial system, when we include all those people in the financial inclusion system, that will support stability, integrity, and it will lead to equitable growth of overall overall financial inclusion and overall financial growth of our country. So how to go about this? So how we come to know that so much population of our country is financially literate or have been financially included in the system of that. So to judge or get idea of this financial inclusion, Reserve Bank of India has started, you might have heard also, so Reserve Bank of India has started financial inclusion index. If you are not aware of this, I'll just brief upon it. Financial inclusion index is with concerted efforts for furthering financial education, a consolidated measure of financial inclusion was felt necessary to effectively monitor progress of policy initiatives undertaken to promote financial inclusion. And that's why financial inclusion index came into existence. I'll just tell you once again. With concerted efforts for furthering financial education, what financial inclusion, the efforts those are already being taken by RBI officials or other banks or government of India, whatever, to further those concerted the efforts for furthering financial inclusion. A consolidated measure of financial inclusion was felt necessary, and that is why policy initiatives undertaken to promote financial inclusion, and that is why financial inclusion index came into existence. What does this financial inclusion, what one can know, or one can get information from this financial inclusion? So financial inclusion index quantifies extent of financial inclusion, up to which level or up to which extent this financial inclusion has dipped into. That extent we come to know in responsive to availability, ease of access, extent of usage, inequality, and deficiency in services. So Reserve Bank of India started this financial inclusion index from March 2017. There is no base year as such for this, but from March 2017, Reserve Bank started publishing this financial inclusion index. And in March 2017, the financial inclusion index of India was 43.4. Then in March 2019, it rose to 49.5. There was little bit increase. And as at March 2021, it is 53.9. So latest index as per FI index is published annually. So financial inclusion index that is being published by Reserve Bank of India annually. So for this March 2022, we'll publish it generally in the month of July. So just for your updated knowledge, I suggest you that you better visit to RBI site also, so that as to help your existing curriculum, you will get some additional information which you can use in your papers and otherwise also you can be aware of all the things being undertaken by Reserve Bank of India. So March 2021 index is 53.9, and for March 2022 the work of calculating that financial inclusion index is going on, and that will be published in July this year. So how this financial inclusion index, now one can very well be curious that how that financial inclusion index is arrived at. So there are basically three factors. First is access. How many people have, just I've started my discussion with how many people are having access to financial services or even banking services. So access is the main parameter, main parameter of this deciding of financial inclusion index, and it has weightage of 35%. So taking into account this access, usage and quality, these are the three parameters. Based on this index, based on these parameters, RBI derives at this financial inclusion index, and these parameters have certain weightage. So access is having weightage of 35%. Second parameter is usage. So suppose after our dedicated efforts, the people are now being aware and they are utilizing services, banking services, then how effectively they are using. So usage of these banking services, that is having weightage of 45%. Once the access is given and people are now started using banking services, but how banking services they are using, or how deeply they are using, how frequently they are using. So that is usage is having weightage of 45%. And last parameter is quality. It is okay, now we have given access, people are also using banking services or financial services, but the quality also matters. If suppose good quality financial services are being offered by the banks or financial institutions, those who takes deposit and withdraw, lend credit. So quality of that banking services also matters, and that is why it is having weightage of 20%. So taking into account this access, usage and quality, all these three aspects are having weightage as 35%, 45% and 20%. And taking into account all these sub parameters, RBI derives at financial inclusion index. So along with this financial inclusion index, across India, now RBI has started one CFL project, that is Center for Financial Literacy. So as on 1st December 2021, around 1,100 centers across India have been established by various NGOs. For this purpose, establishing this CFL project, RBI has taken help of some 10 or 12 NGOs across India. In Maharashtra, CRISIL Foundation is looking after this job. And in Maharashtra, right now, at present, we are having 58 such type of centers. And out of the 58, 39 centers are under Mumbai Regional Office. I work in Mumbai Regional Office at Fort. So out of the 58 centers, 39 are with Mumbai Regional Office, and remaining centers are with Nagpur office. So what these basically, just I will brief you about this. What these CFL centers do, the financial inclusion, we do train them, so CRISIL officials. We also impart them training regarding about basic financial knowledge or government sponsored schemes. You might be aware that Prime Minister Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, Prime Minister's Suraksha Bima Yojana, or even Atal Pension Yojana. So we do give them training for about these government sponsored schemes and what are other RBI is doing after looking after other functions of RBI, and from RBI side also what banking ombudsman does, or what is the activities of foreign exchange department. So we do them training, we give them training, and after that our training, they go to very remote villages, because they are having their blocks in remote villages. They are having 3 blocks in adjacent districts, and one area manager for these 3 blocks, one center manager for these 3 blocks. And as I told you, informed you earlier, that when we interact with these LDMs these LDMs or even we officers from Reserve Bank of India, we also do visit these CFL centers managed by this CRISIL Foundation, especially in case of Maharashtra. And we do monitor their activities, what type of training they are giving, how they are giving, because they also use various types of training, say audio visual training or some seminar or some one act play or some small play through that play they imbibe the importance of saving or importance of banking services, like that. So they are people who try different methods and try to inculcate this knowledge about banking services in various remote villages of the country. And just for your information, I would like to say that along with all these activities, every year Reserve Bank is also celebrating Financial Literacy Week. Financial Literacy Week is also celebrated every year, generally in the month of February. It started from 2016. So earlier it was somewhere being celebrated in July or August. But last 2-3 years, Reserve Bank is celebrating Financial Literacy Week across India with certain theme. This year for 2022, that Financial Literacy Week was celebrated during 14 to 18 February this year. And this year the theme was Go Digital, Go Secure. As I told you, because now the people's intention towards making digital payment, Google Pay, Phone Pay or Paytm or whatever, has been increased. So while carrying out all these digital transactions, what precaution one has to take to make aware all the people about this? So this year Financial Literacy Week's theme was Go Digital, Go Secure. So during what activities we carried out this during this Financial Literacy Week? We do conduct camps for students or self-help groups or farmers or even targeted groups, as I told you. And we do conduct camps within this Financial Literacy Week, and we impart that knowledge about basic banking services or whatever government schemes, sponsored schemes are available. But we are not restricting our activity of conducting these camps only in this Financial Literacy Week, because as I told you, we have been allotted 3 or 4 districts. So we have to attend the meetings, district level meetings with that particular collector of that particular district. And in that meeting also, that is known as District Consultative Committee meeting, DCC meeting, District Consultative Committee meeting. So in that meeting also, whenever we attend that meeting along with that LDM, there also we take a review about the financial inclusion stage of that financial inclusion in that particular district. And after coming to our headquarters, we do submit our report or we do submit our findings to our higher ups. And from that, we come to know if any monitoring of any other different services are required. So we take action accordingly. So along with that, digital payment index is also being published by Reserve Bank of India, as we are going digital towards payment. So digital payment index is also being published. That is being published by half yearly. So I think latest the 307.8 that digital payment index is there. You can get all this information on Reserve Bank of India site. So that is why I requested you just for your additional knowledge, or just for your to improve yourself, because all you are commerce students. So just to improve yourself, I suggest that you in between please do visit RBI website. There you will get so many type of information, that what is this financial inclusion index, digital payment index, and RBI कहता है is, you might have seen advertisements or posters in the bus stand or airports or whatever, because for that particular purpose RBI has taken help of Amitabh Bachchan as brand ambassador, and for this you might have seen all these advertisements, or even during IPL also, because that Umesh Yadav, KL Rahul, all these are all these are employees of Reserve Bank of India. So they also do advertise with the banking ombudsman, because if any particular customer of bank, if he doesn't get proper service, he doesn't get proper service from any bank, then he can make a complaint of that particular branch manager or the staff in that, but with Reserve Bank of India, with that banking ombudsman. But before that, the procedure is like that. Suppose if you also one of you, or you get does not get any proper service from any bank, then you can first raise your complaint with that branch manager. Then suppose he also does not give you satisfactory answer, then you can escalate that complaint to their zonal office. And from zonal office also, if you don't get any particular or needed response, then one can lodge complaint with banking ombudsman scheme. Because for this taking care of this customer complaint also, there is separate department, that is Customer Education and Protection Department in Reserve Bank of India. And for this activity also, recently all the activities, all this type of redressal of complaint, that is being centralized in our Chandigarh office, Reserve Bank of India Chandigarh office. There one can make complaint through mail also, or IVR system also, and through that right now that CEPC, that is centralized Customer Education and Protection, that one can make complaint in different 7 or 8 languages, and RBI is trying to trying to increase that number of languages the one customer can make complaint, so that while making complaint, one should not hesitate. If I speak in my mother tongue, whether it will be taken care of by the Reserve Bank of India. So this customer education cell, customer education and protection department, that is the activities are being centralized in Chandigarh. So basically this financial inclusion, as I told you, these are the basic parameters, and through all these basic services, we try to, from Reserve Bank of India, we try to improve the advantage or scope of these financial inclusion activities across India through measures what we have taken, and we are taking also, because all these are guided by National Strategy for Financial Inclusion, that is being prepared by Government of India and RBI, and under that 2020-2025, this span of 5 years, there are some indicators how India should go about it. So according to that NSFI curriculum or NSFI suggestions, all these financial activities are being planned out for this entire year. And we are conducting camps for MSME also, for medium and small enterprises also. From the financial inclusion side, we do conduct workshops for them, 1-day workshop, or in a particular district. Suppose latest, I think in the month of March, we have conducted a camp in Kolhapur district. There you might be aware that their jaggery business is quite good. They are having good production of jaggery, because sugarcane and jaggery. So we conducted one camp for budding entrepreneurs who are doing jaggery business, and we gave them guidance, because at that seminar also officials from other banks, we call them, and they also impart some training, because to get credit for their business, or to get advance, take advance for their business, expanding their business, what are the what are the documents they require, or how best they can get credit. So all these, regarding all these financial matters, guidance from commercial bank officials also is being provided by Reserve Bank of India by conducting such type of camps. Then for SHGs also, for small self-help groups, for them also we do conduct camps with the help of other commercial banks, and we see to it that financial inclusion is being penetrated up to them. Then for students of college or whatever, or school, whatever, then for them also we conduct camps during this financial literacy week also, and otherwise also, because along with the CFL activity started from 2019 only, because before that some financial literacy centers were in existence. So when we go to that, as I told you, when we visit to that our allotted district, at that time we do attend the financial camps being conducted by those financial literacy counselors. They also arrange financial literacy camps, and we make visit to their financial literacy camps arranged by them, and we take some 1 or 2 sessions giving information about Reserve Bank of India and other efforts what are being made by Reserve Bank of India. Then for getting, because see, each and every bank, is not possible for each and every bank to open its branch in very remote or very very remote area, or very very remote area, or very under close very far place in a particular village. So to how to give access for those people who are staying in hilly areas or any remote areas, or there are some in Thane district or Palghar district, there are some, we know some that Adivasi area is there. So they are also not having access to banking services. So to give access to such type of people, bank has been deploying business correspondents. Those are known as business correspondents, BCs. So whatever basic banking services those people staying in remote areas or village areas, they should have, those services are being provided by these BCs, that is business correspondent. They have some micro ATMs, and they open their accounts of those people staying in remote areas, and after getting their accounts opened in the nearby branch, they get because in every time all those people need not go to bank for every time for depositing money or taking withdrawal. So all these services are being given to them by this business correspondent. So when we go to attend the district level meeting with collector, at that time we also visit all these BCs also, how effectively they are functioning, whether they are playing their assigned duties well in time and well in manner as prescribed by Reserve Bank of India. So we do visit those BCs also. We do visit some rural branches also, and after coming to our headquarters, we submit our report. So at Reserve Bank's level also, each and every quarterly level or even monthly level, we do conduct camps and we do monitor all these activities, financial inclusion activities, so that from Reserve Bank side there should not be any stone unturned कि ये हमने किया नहीं, तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए करके we have so many ways and so many ways and other equipments so that we can take review or monitor these financial inclusion activities. So because I told you earlier, when each and every citizen of this country, if he gets access to financial services being offered by bank or any financial institution, then only will become financial literate, and financial inclusion index will go high in gradually. So this is all from my side. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.
Participants, you can put your doubt in the chat box so we can inform sir regarding, and you can find the best solution for it.
I hope to my extent I might be able to, or I might have been successful in
Sandeep
at
sir.
least giving. Yes, sir.
Sandeep
Yes,
sir,
please.
this is Rohit Pitle sir from Amlani College only, department.
Yes, yes, sir.
Your session was very wonderful, but I had one question in there. In that
Yeah.
financial index, financial
Yes, sir.
inclusion index you mentioned,
Yes, sir.
started in 2021.
Yes.
I had question that in those parameters, 3 parameters, access,
sir.
usage,
Usage and quality. Yes, sir.
what are the different or various indicators of quality index, quality parameter in the index?
अच्छा, quality parameters में quality में basically that financial literacy, then consumer protection and inequality, those are the sub parameters under quality index, because those are, while determining quality index of giving that is which is having 20% weightage, the quality index is looked after from this angle: financial literacy, consumer protection, and inequality. So these are under sub parameters under
So
quality.
does it include gender equality also in inclusion? Gender
Yes,
equality,
yes, yes, sir.
gender perspective.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and another one
Huh.
question.
Yes, sir.
You said that financial inclusion index is 53 as per
0.9.
the data of 2021,
53.9.
March 21,
Yes,
right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it is calculated from 0 to 100. So my question is why our financial inclusion index is so low, nearly half 50%.
Yes.
What are the different strategies or measures or plans to extend it to the 100%? Because our target is that only.
Yes, our target is that, and that is why I told you this when we came to know that when in 2017 that FI index was 43.4, or even subsequently then it is increased to 49.9. But still, as you rightly pointed out, it is very low as compared to our population of the country. So that is why we planned this, along with our financial inclusion department of Reserve Bank of India. We came with the proposal that now we let us take help of these NGOs, and we start through them. We have started this Center for Financial Literacy initiative, and now slowly across India, these CFL activities is getting momentum. And I'm sure definitely within say 2 or 3 years, this will cross at least 75%. We are working towards it, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Welcome.
Sir, we got a question in a chat box.
Yes, sir.
The question says, could you please discuss the financial inclusion in the growing changes in the shape in the future?
Financial inclusion?
How it is going to change in the future? What are the strategies like?
Strategies in the sense that is actually policy matter. So I am from actually regional office. So, but whatever I can understand, I can tell you strategies in the sense we have to make more efforts to bring the people under this financial inclusion, giving access to their basic financial services. So we have to explore another possibilities. What are the other ways we can work upon this? Because this is basically a policy matter. I told you, somebody from our central office definitely would have been in a better position to guide you about this, because we are at a regional office, like Nagpur regional office or Chennai regional office, where I am working in Mumbai regional office. So whatever instructions are we receive from our central office, we work accordingly. But definitely we are trying to increase that usage and access to financial services for rural and people staying in village areas. So we are working on that, as I told you, through help of CFL or these FLC centers. So under these, now that the national strategy for financial education, which will be over by 2025. So we are trying with Government of India to plan for next plan for 5 years also. So I think within that plan, we will be coming out for some new strategies or some new schemes to increase our scope for these financial activities, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Sir, some other questions are here.
Yes, sir.
What are the steps you are taking to increase the digital payment index?
Steps to increase digital payment index?
Yeah, sir.
No, actually, see, we are trying from Reserve Bank of India. We are trying to educate the people about making digital payment. So when more and more people use digital payment, say by each and every time, if you use phone pay or scan that QR code and you make the payment. So once that number of people using that digital payment is increased, automatically this digital payment index will be increased. Right now it is around 307 point something. So that is why we are making aware the people how to use and what precautions one can take. So when the more people are started using this digital payment, then automatically that index will increase. There is no doubt about it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Participants, any other question? Any other question you can? Sir, my personal question I have.
Yes, please.
As you told, whatever we are earning, we have to keep some money aside.
Yes, yes.
But sir, what I believe is it is just possible for the rich people who are earning very good income, and
Yes,
not for the
yes.
poor and the very middle class people.
Ha,
So,
ha.
any your suggestion for the same?
See, suggestion in the sense, I just gave you an example. See, we have to inculcate this habit in ourselves. Whatever that income that person gets, suppose any very whatever 1,000 or 10,000, whatever, or 5,000, but at least some portion of that income, I understand your point, that is possible for rich people. But suppose we inculcate this habit in us, or if we inculcate this habit in our children, then from very younger stage they will be used to that habit, and in future they will get benefit of that. Whatever possible we can save, because making expenses from that income, whatever possible, though a meager amount, but try to inculcate that habit. I mean to say, that is what I meant to say, nothing like that.
Okay, so okay.
Yes,
So,
well,
two
that
more
means
other questions.
yes, please. Yes, please.
Now people are curious about to know something from you.
Yes, please.
So, the
Whatever
first
possible.
question, yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. So, the first question is like, what are the steps you are taking to strengthen NPA recovery policy?
NPA recovery policy.
Yes,
Acha,
sir.
actually, this is not a right forum, because we are talking about financial inclusion. But still, NPA recovery policy, we are having different department, that is Department of Regulation and Department of Supervision. So steps taken in the sense that whenever we have issued instructions or we have given guidance to banks, whenever any particular account which is standard account means the borrower is making payment timely, and his account is not getting NPA. But when that account gives signal, that now it will turn to, because NPA also, it will not turn into NPA account very suddenly. The standard account will turn to NPA first in SMA 0, that is special mention account 0, then SMA 1 and SMA 2, like that. So when that account starts giving signal, now this account is not in a proper account, so at that time only, from banker side, it is duty of that branch manager to inform the borrower, now you have to pay your installment regularly in time, because otherwise your account will turn NPA. So we are inculcating these we are issuing these instructions to bankers also and to borrowers also. And regarding this aspect also, we have issued that prompt corrective action criteria for the bankers, where some certain triggers where that system may give to that system of that banking industry, that particular branch, and it will save the account from becoming NPA. So prompt corrective action in case of commercial banks, and special advisory facility, supervisory action force for cooperative banks. All these instructions we have issued to commercial banks and cooperative banks, which will there are some criteria that triggers that account, that now account will become NPA. So that branch manager or that concerned officer get that information in advance, and he will try to save that account from becoming NPA.
Okay, so I hope they have understood what exactly the
yes.
So last one more question.
Yes, please.
So whether the cryptocurrency will reduce the role of RBI?
See, now this is about cryptocurrency. We are in very nascent stage. We are also exploring the possibilities of how to go about it. So some discussions are going on whether to go about it or otherwise. Some discussions are going on. We are very at initiative stage. So right now we are not in a position to say something about it, whether it will go through or it will be very helpful or advantageous for our country. Right now, this is not the stage we can say something about. We can say fix something. This will happen definitely. So we are just deliberating the issue. Maybe within a year or two, we'll be come out some with guidelines.
Okay, so
right.
okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
we
sir.
have understood exactly.
Yes.
So, as a professor of BLM College, Shanta
Yes.
Mayer, I am.
Yes, yes.
I wholeheartedly thank you, sir, for taking your time and sharing your knowledge with us. It was very wonderful to have a understanding from you. You have taken all the entire section very nicely, and also you have answered all the questions what the participant been taken up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Yes, yes. And I also thank for giving me this opportunity. So thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You
Okay.
always need your support for
Yes,
our
yes. You
future
can.
connection also.
Your principal sir has my number. If you have any query, you can call me or you can mail me. No problem. Whatever
Definitely,
possible,
sir.
I'll try to help you out.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much, sir.
Yes, yes. So can I leave now?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
sir.
Good day. Bye.
Yeah, sir. Next for our technical section, the first technical section, the topic is of financial literacy for inclusive growth, the role of Nabard. And this technical section will be taken by Dr. Rainy Francis ma'am. She is the principal of Pillai College of Education. We invite you, ma'am. We wholeheartedly invite you for our today's section. We are very happy to see you.
Thank you,
Over
sir.
to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's always my pleasure. And I really thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be here and to share the little knowledge that I have about financial inclusion and when we are talking about inclusive growth. Because I think when we are talking about, when we are here on a on a Saturday morning discussing about the most pertinent topics that involves everybody, uh, each one of us who are here in this forum today, involving everybody, it means that we know or know to understand it so that we can incorporate the basic aspects that we think for being in the phase of inclusive growth. So thank you so much. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jitendra and the entire team for inviting me. Thank you, Nabard, for giving me an opportunity to share my views on this very, very important topic that leads to growth of each and every individual. So may I have the permission to share the screen?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. I'll just check the setting then.
Yeah, thank you. It's done. It's done, Shantaram. Thank you
Okay,
so
ma'am.
much, Shantaram.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, so we are talking about a topic called as financial literacy for inclusive growth. Two very important topics: financial literacy. Sir now just spoke about financial literacy and spoke about financial inclusion. But also we are looking at another topic, which is inclusive growth. The term inclusive, to a large extent, we need to understand this terminology with a broader perspective, thinking about how inclusive means including everybody. And when we are talking about financial literacy, we are talking about financial literacy seeping into the system for the growth of each and every individual that we talk about. During this period of pandemic, we have seen that financial literacy or financial inclusion, I would like to put it as financial inclusion, has seeped into each and everybody's home. The pandemic has kept us indoors for a longer period of time, thus giving an opportunity for us to explore this place of financial inclusion through digital literacy as well. When we speak about financial inclusion, there is a distance that we have all the time seen about the haves and the have-nots. So here we start looking at what we understand by financial literacy, how we talk about inclusive growth so that each and everybody is involved in the entire process. I'm just going to highlight on three basic topics that I really would like to take up through is the basics of financial literacy, the basics of inclusive growth, and the synergy between financial literacy and inclusive growth. We, we have heard about financial literacy. We have heard about financial literacy from our school days, where we are taught topics on budgeting, we are taught topics on we are taught topics on savings, we are taught topics on taxation. So many topics are being dealt in our, even in our school syllabus, even in our school days. Literacy about managing your finances takes your deeper understanding to financial literacy. Now, why is it important to manage your finances? Why is it important to have an understanding of financial literacy is what we are looking at. One, earning. What do you earn and how much do you earn? You cannot think about keeping anything away or planning for something if you don't have anything in your hand. It's always like when you have a slice of cake, then you know, and then you look at the number of people around you, then you decide how many pieces the slice of the cake will go to, so that you are giving equal or you are giving a share of it to the others who are around you. Same way, what do you have in your hand as an earning, or what you possess as an earning in your with yourself, helps you to understand the aspects of financial literacy, or helps you to understand the aspects of optimally distributing your finances to various overheads that you speak about. Then once you have your earning in your hand, then you go on to understanding the saving and the investing part. You definitely save some money, you invest it in the right sources, and when you invest it at the right sources, you earn returns from that. They may not be immediate returns that you're talking about. They may be returns that you are expecting in few years or in few months or in in couple of years that you're talking about. But that aspect it's a forward looking mindset that you have, that you need to save for a future purpose. Just now in the last presentation, and there were a few questions which were also talking about cryptocurrency. So that's also one area that people start looking at investing. The positives and the negatives I'm not discussing here, but then I'm just trying to say that what you try to save, either in the form of as some kind of you have your PPF, or you have your mutual funds, or you have your where you're trying to keep aside of some amount of money so that you're able to fund for your needs at a later stage. The third aspect of understanding financial literacy is through spending. How much do you would like to spend? Your thought of spending depends upon your needs, your comforts, your luxuries. What are your basic needs? How do you try to fulfill your basic needs? Your comforts, what do you want to have a little bit more rather than your basic needs? And the second is your luxury. I need a mobile phone. It's a need that probably I would like to have. I buy a mobile phone, comes from 4,000 rupees to, I don't know, maybe a lakh and more. My comfort is to buy a phone. Need is there. Comfort is I want to buy a phone with a good, with the purpose of the phone. Well, what's my purpose of my phone? Probably the purpose of my phone is to click some good pictures. That's the purpose that I maybe buying a phone. So if I have to have some good pictures, I need a phone with a good camera, with good megapixels, and so I may look out for. So the phone with 6,000 rupees has clarity, but the phone which is 60,000 has better clarity. So there is a difference that you choose between your comforts and your luxury. What you can afford and what you want to buy, and do you need this at this particular point of time? So your spending depends a lot on how you live your lifestyle. It's more to understand with your standard of living. It's more to understand with how do you go about things and what you would like to have. How would you like to spend your the savings that you have or the money that you just earn? How do you would like to spend it? It's those thought process takes you through the spending aspects. We all have money, but there are margin shops where we go and buy, where we may even go and buy from a place, from any shop that has reduced prices on a particular days. Do you wish to go and buy it from there, or do you wish to buy it from a nearby shop who may be charging 4 or 5 rupees extra or 10 rupees extra, or rather you would like to go and buy from a shop at a wholesale rate? So that also depends upon your understanding of the money that you need to spend. So that understanding you receive from financial literacy. The third is borrowing. The next is borrowing. How you term your aspects of borrowing. Why do you borrow? What is it that you borrow, and for what do you borrow? So if your earning is insufficient to meet the expenses that you are going to face, or you have an immediate expense that you look through and you are unable to manage that, then you tend to borrow. Protecting is more on the in the aspect of insuring yourself. Do you take an insurance of your life insurance, your motor insurance, your vehicle insurance, your house insurance, your insurance from fire or from theft? All these are aspects of financial literacy. So how these aspects of earning, saving, spending, borrowing, and protecting is or has to be dealt in clear with true clarity, with true understanding, is made it very easy to you through financial literacy, because you're able to understand, okay, I have so much money now, how am I going to put it in different overheads, or what am I going to do at different earning and spending and saving? I will be having a better impact, a better understanding of the same. So when we have this particular kind of understanding, that's when you start looking at things and you start looking at the various possibilities of how you will start understanding financial literacy. Now, moving on to that, when we move on, we try to even look into the importance of financial literacy. Why do we have to have this knowledge of managing your finances or understanding your financial? It gives you an ability to take a better financial decision, able to understand how much I should invest, how much I should spend, how much I should save. What are the unseen structures that I see in my life, or there are unforeseen things that may affect, or I have a child now, and how do I need to protect my child's future, or keep aside some money for my child's education, or planning for a house. So many things keep coming through. So this understanding of financial literacy helps you to plan your finances better. So better financial decision, effective management of money and debt. So you're not just borrowing, but you also know a balance to meet between the borrowing as well as your money. People tend to have the using of credit cards. So if you're using a credit card for a particular purchase, then you need to know that you need to repay it as well. But if you just go on buying and without being conscious of the fact that you need to even return the money, you are in an imbalance of borrowing and not fulfilling and paying off the debts. So there is a management that makes you clear that, okay, you need to pay. So a compulsory payment of a particular amount of money so that your debts are reduced and you're not just increasing your borrowing. It also helps you to reach to a financial goal that you might have planned. Like I earlier said, you need to buy a house, you need to buy some investments or take up some investments. You are able to plan better. With a particular amount of money that I have, how am I going to divide it into the various overheads will help you to understand the importance of planning my monetary resources in the most effective way. It also helps you in reduction of expenses through better regulation. So you need to understand, okay, I have to invest so much money. Now, if I have to invest so much money, what are the extra expenses that may come in? And I'm going to keep aside those extra expenses and try to manage with the limited resources that I have, so that I can put that extra money for my savings or for investment purpose. It's less financial stress and anxiety. Many a times we find that financial burden becomes the most, it is a very strenuous burden that people go through. We hear a lot of we hear a lot of aspects where the news is not so good, when you find because of various financial burden, people go to extremes in their life and take decisions that are not favorable. But the financial burden is one that just makes you sink day by day. And to get up, to rise over, needs a lot of courage, needs a lot of support, needs a lot of kind of self instinct to rise. And that self instinct is important, and to avoid that, it's better to plan well, it's better to plan better. Increases ethical decision making while when you're selecting insurance or loans. You're not carried away or lured to any kind of investment plans or any kind of aspects which gives you a lot of fake information, or gives you a lot of unprecedented information that just takes you off and feels okay. Somebody tells you in 5 days I make your money into 5 times of what you have right now. That's something which is very, very, very deceptive and not right to invest in some sources like that. So you are able to make a very, very ethical decision making. Be fair by being fair and understanding, because if you're not aware of it, you are going to be trapped into such deceptive ads or such deceptive views from people, where you would start investing and may end up in losing your money. So that's also something that helps you through. So financial literacy opens your doors, or opens your mind to this aspect where you're no more going to be subdued with some kind of wrong practices, but going through the right ethical practices. Effective creation of structured budget. You are going to be more structured in your budgeting, because that's where you will be able to plan your finances better. So when you have all these aspects which are just helping you to go forward and understand the topic of financial literacy, then it's important now how we take this to the aspect of inclusive growth. Because inclusive does not mean catering to the people who are there in the system, but also catering to the people who are not there in the system, and to include them in the system. This is a very big challenge that we see, because there are numerous people who are not in the system, and because they are not in the system, there are aspects of their growth is restricted. You may find people they don't have a bank account, they don't have the access to digital modes of transactions, they do not have a proper address proof, so that, or residence, they are not able to create their own Aadhaar card, which leads to which is important for their banking transactions or any other. So all these people are away from the system, are not there in the system, which hampers, or which hampers the growth of the nation as well. So when we are talking about inclusive growth, we are talking about individual growth as well as national growth. When each one of us are in residing in a country, are able to grow collectively, are able to have all those aspects which are leading to the growth, then there are opportunities that you can see a growth in unison. When I say growth in unison, it just talks about how the everybody is there. So I can give you a small example here by just mentioning that if there is a particular scheme, and that scheme requires you to have a bank account. Now, many of them who do not have a bank account are not able to get the benefit of that scheme. A very, very common example is I would like to share is my maid who used to work in our house for a few years, for many years. She never had a bank account. And when she had her daughters and she once came up to me and she said, I want to apply for the Sukanya scheme which has come. And I said, yeah, it's very good, because your daughters are small, and by the time they grow up, this scheme will really give them a good opportunity for education, But she did not have an account. She did not have a proper residence proof. we had to go through various stages to give her that particular aspect of getting into an address, getting a ration card, filing a name, getting an Aadhaar card, getting a bank account, putting her name in that post office, and all those things to get through this particular aspect of the scheme. So like that, there are many schemes which really require you, the prerequisites are there. But people who do not have those prerequisites always face a challenge to get benefit of this particular scheme. And when they face a challenge in getting benefit to this particular scheme, there is no inclusive growth that we see. Because to get an inclusive growth, you need to include everybody. But at the screening level itself, you have a lot of exclusions, or you have a lot of aspects who are just below those lines of prerequisites, then the growth is again hampered. So here we need to look at every aspect of inclusive growth. What do we speak about it? Giving an equitable opportunity for economic participants during economic growth. Everybody is to be given an opportunity. We here talk about, we need to remember the aspect of equality and equity. Equality given to everybody equally. Equity is somebody who doesn't have that opportunity to rise up to that level to get it, give them an extra help, give them an extra assistance. So equality and equity, not only equality has to be maintained, but equity also has to be maintained or to be taken care of when we are talking about giving an opportunity for economic participation, to participate in the growth of their economic well-being. It also talks about attaining the objectives of inclusive growth. So the resources, the need of resources, resource generation, mobilization of resources. Like I said, if a particular person needs to have a resource, what are the aspects that you require to focus on in getting these resources is important. And when you start focusing on this, that's when you start understanding where is the gap. The gap needs to be filled through. The gap needs to be addressed. And if inclusive growth shows or highlights those gaps, it's that time that you need to look into those aspects that needs to be filled for those gaps. And the various initiatives taken by Nabard has really been commendable in filling up those gaps. So how do we look at one particular aspects of inclusion? Just looking at these three aspects of inclusion. First is look at the penetration dimension. To what level has the penetration moved in or seeped in? How much has it gone? Has it reached to even the person who requires or who is in dire need of your resource? Has it reached up to that person? You need to measure the penetration dimension of inclusive growth. Need to see whether it's like the root, you are thinking about the root system. How much does the root is strong enough below the ground? When the root is strong enough below the ground, that's when the tree is going to flourish above the ground. So your initiative of inclusive growth, how much deep, how far or how deep it has reached. The next is availability dimension. When you start looking at what are the sources that are available, there are many a times where the sources are not available. Technology would be a source that may not be available. Start looking at that aspect. Is it available for everybody? Is it possible to acquire that? It must have penetrated, but is it reaching and being accessible for them to go and avail this benefit? Usage. It is penetrated, it is available. Are the people using it? Are the people being able to use those benefits that has been given to them? When you look at these three aspects of dimension of inclusion, that is a time that you will understand how much is your inclusive growth or how much the financial literacy has moved or paved its way for having an inclusive growth. Because unless and until you start looking at it or these three major dimensions, it will be very difficult for us to grab or capture this particular aspect of inclusive growth. So what is a synergy that we can build? How can you build this gap, or how can you build this synergy? First, you talk about an inequality and there is inclusion. They are the two major pressing challenges that we see in the world today. There is inequality, there is exclusion. You have to now penetrate. The penetration dimension leads you to remove this aspect of inequality and exclusion. You need to go deep. You need to understand where this inclusive growth, first go to the areas, first include everybody, give them the knowledge of financial literacy. When you include, when you orient them, when you make them aware of it, they are able to use it in their life. Access to and integration into these networks. You have to have an access to it. We just mentioned about availability. If it is not available, I will not be able to access it at all. If I give a credit card to somebody and I say, or a debit card to somebody, okay, you use it. But the debit card has no meaning if it is not linked to a bank account. The debit card has no meaning if the bank has no money. So you have to give an access and integration to, and to see that it works. There is a system where you have to run the whole system, where the whole system needs to take the responsibility towards bringing in prosperity of that. Because inclusive growth does not mean addressing only the issues of the haves, but also to reach to the have-nots and address those issues. Once you address the issues of the have-nots, that's when you understand the importance of shared prosperity or shared responsibility. There are a lot of financial services like clean water, electricity, transport, communication. They are all important for a better life. But if you don't get it, there is no inclusive growth. If you don't have it, you cannot talk about, so it's like, you are able to think about the comforts once you have your needs met. But if you don't have your basic needs met, how will you even go on to beyond to think about the comforts? Comforts is there, luxuries is way beyond. It's like a mirage. You will not be able to even think about the water in the desert if you can't see if there is if you cannot even witness there would be some water there. It's sand. So here the basic components of services are also not available. So there would not be any progress towards financial understanding or inclusion. More people have access to affordable and high quality financial services. They have opportunities, more opportunities. So the people who have opportunities, they have services, they are able to do better. What about those who don't have? The marginalized who don't have, the people who are excluded, the people who are segregated, what do we do about them? So we need to address those issues. We need to reach out to them. Technology has risen its pace to a very dynamic extent. And especially these 2 years, we have seen that technology is there in everybody's hands, and at the fingertip, you are able to access and do a lot of things. But still, there are people who have not even been able to witness the basic steps of technology. So if technology reaches into their hands, there will be opportunities for more financial inclusion and inclusive growth. So when we are talking about these aspects, it's important to understand the gap, the dimensions that are required, and how we can lead them to financial growth. So with this, I would like to end my session, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining the things in such a wonderful way. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or?
Participant, do anybody has any question? You can put it down in the chat box.
Okay. Seems like no questions.
No, ma'am, I don't think any question will be arise now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's nice. So either
Because
it
we
is,
have simplified the concept in a so well manner. I don't think anybody can ask anything further on.
hopefully that's the. So we have
Ma'am, one question we got here.
yeah, Gopal sir has asked how can one plan for financial planning? So it depends. Like I would like to go back to the first image that I went through. Once you are aware of your earnings, then you are able to plan your to be more focused on your financial planning. Not always can you have a perfect kind of a financial planning, because there are unseen contingencies that come up or unseen aspects that come up, but definitely also not always can you fix the percentage how you can plan your finances. Okay, I will spend only this much, or I will I will save this much, but an overall budgeting based on your earnings will help you to plan better your, will be able to plan your finances better. Yes, I think that was yeah. Thank you, Gopal sir.
Yeah, ma'am. I think there will be no more any questions then.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah,
Shantara.
thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you.
sharing your time with us and
Thank you
accepting
so
our
much.
request to share your
Always
knowledgeable.
welcome.
Yeah.
Always welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
May I leave?
Yeah, ma'am, you can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. So participant for the next technical section, we have Professor Sonali Chiklikar, madam. She is a corporate trainer and the financial advisor. She is going to discuss on the topic on spreading the financial inclusion, promoting the e-payment solutions. So I request ma'am to move further then.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. So it is my pleasure to be here today to be part of this national conference on promoting financial and inclusive growth. So considering the time, I'm directly starting my topic, that is e-payment solutions. So as we all have witnessed the tremendous power we, or what we can say, support we got because of digital technology in this pandemic scenario, which we have witnessed in past 2 years. So those who have digitally skilled citizens is a person with the skill and knowledge to effectively use digital technologies to participate in society, communicate with others, and create and consume digital contents. So this digital technology helped us in many ways. Imagine, as I said, that in past 2 years, we have witnessed this quarantine situation, which never faced by world in past. Right? Imagine ourselves without the technology in that scenario. It was like a house arrest kind of situation for all of us that time. And that time, this digital technology helped us a lot. We have, it helped in education, it helped in getting resources, it helped in making payments. So from that only, we are going to discuss about the payments. So payments are made using payment instruments. Cash, for example, is a payment instrument. So too are checks. Digital or cashless, that is every instruments other than cash, which is non-cash and which does not rely on paper, that is non-paper, for its transaction, that is digital or cashless payment. So simply in other words, we can say transactions that mainly use electronic medium are considered as digital. So the Digital India program is a flagship program of Government of India with a vision to transform India into a digitally empowered society and a digital economy. And under this program, government targets to promote digital payments and support development of low cost and easy to use digital payment solutions for all sections of the society. Sorry, I hope I'm audible, sir. I hope I'm clearly audible. Yes. So, as a part of paperless, cashless, and faceless services across the country, especially in rural and remote areas, various modes of digital payments are being provided, like banking cards, mobile wallets, internet banking, mobile banking, bank prepaid cards, micro ATMs, point of sales machine, that is POS, then Aadhaar enabled payment system, that is AEPS, and unstructured supplementary service data, that is USSD. So these are all paperless, cashless, and faceless services across the country available. I will just share the PPT. So there are many, as I have said earlier, there are many digital payment services. One of that services is Unified Payment Interface, that is UPI. You must have heard this word, that is UPI. So Unified Payment Interface is a system that powers multiple bank accounts into a single mobile applications of any participating bank, merging several banking features, seamless fund routing, and merchant payments into one hood. It also caters to the peer-to-peer collect request, which can be scheduled and paid as per requirements and convenience. You must have aware about the traditional banking system. Suppose I want to pay someone, say 5,000 rupees. So imagine yourself in a traditional banking scenario. So where if I want to pay someone, we will consider two scenarios. Within a city, then I have to give a check to that person. Then that person, again, there are various methods. We will not go in that detail, like account pay or a bearer or a cross check, whatever. Suppose I want to pay a money to XYZ in a city, means we are residing in a same city. So that person have to collect a check from me, and as per his or her convenience, he or she will go to her or his bank, and that person will deposit that check in that bank. Then that check will come again for clearing in my bank account, and then if my bank account will have money, then that person will get that amount. Then if I will not have money, then that check will get bounced. Now, the second scenario where the person is not from the same city, so it will take transportation time also, that the check will reach to the check will reach by, say, courier to that that person. Then that person will deposit as per her or his convenience in his or her bank account, and then again it will come to my bank account for clearing. So when we have considered same city payment, that will also take minimum 2-3 days. And when we are considering other city payment, it will take nearly one week for clearing that payment. But now we have witnessed this digital technology. Because of this digital technology, within fraction of second, we can pay to anyone, or we can receive fund from anyone. Okay. Then this UPI, there are available UPI ID, that is Unified Payment Interface, available with almost all bank accounts. So you get a unique ID, like we have our email ID. The same way we get unique ID, and we can pay to that ID. Like we are going to learn about various digital payment services. It is like that only. Then another, how it works. So first of all, we need to download a UPI app of our bank. Suppose my bank account is in ICICI Bank. So I have to download the ICICI Bank account. Then I have to register with my account details and create a virtual ID with either my by using my name or my phone number. And it's a just one-time process. Then after registering, the second step is online purchase. So whatever items we need to purchase, we need to add to our cart. Then we need to go to payment options and select payment through UPI. There we need to mention our virtual ID to the merchant. Then after mentioning that virtual ID, we'll get a notification in our UPI app, in short, in our bank account app, in our bank's app. So we will receive a pop-up window on our phone's UPI application requesting our approval for online purchase. Then there we need to enter our secure PIN, that is our PIN code. Then whichever we have decided at the time of registration process. Normally it is a 6-digit to 8 digits. In some cases it is 4-digit also. Then you will, after entering that PIN, will get a confirmation of successful payment will be sent on our mobile phone. Okay, so UPI works in this way. Then another application is Paytm. You must have heard that famous line of Paytm, that Paytm Karo. So nowadays people using the different wallets. So some wallets was given the cashback for or to alternative to the people. Some wallet names are M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Jio Money, PayPal, MobiKwik, and Paytm. So Paytm means pay through mobile. It is in 2014, the company launched Paytm Wallet, which became India's largest mobile payment service platform with over 150 million wallet and 75 million Android-based application downloads as of November 2016. I am damn sure it must have increased in double in this past quarantine years. So the surge in uses of the services was largely due to the demonetization of the 500 and 1,000 rupees currency note. So when demonetization announced in 2014, after that, people started using this digital payment. People started availing this digital payment services. Then how this Paytm works? So we need to create an account. First of all, we need to download the Paytm app in our PC and mobile. Then after downloading, we need to sign up. In short, we need to register. So to sign up options, we need to choose, and there we can give. We have to give our mobile number, then our Gmail ID, which is optional. Then we need to create a password. We need to create a Paytm password, and after creating Paytm password, we can by clicking sign up. It means we are agree to the terms and conditions of Paytm, and that we have read their privacy policy. So this way we can create a Paytm account. Then after creating a Paytm account, we can use the Paytm account by login to Paytm. So for that, we need to open a Paytm app, select login option. We need to enter our login details like payment account, phone number or Gmail ID. Then we need to enter a Paytm password, and Paytm login is successful. So we can log in with the Facebook also if we have a Facebook account. So Paytm is basically given full security in our account. It is provided in, it is fully secured. We can use for recharging. We can use for making payments of various bills. So it is given a OTP in your registered mobile number. So whenever we make payment through Paytm, for every transactions, we will receive one OTP that is which is active for. There are different scenario. In some cases, it is for 10 minutes. In some cases, it is only for 5 minutes. So that OTP, but that is one-time password, we need to enter after process was completed. We can recharge. So there are various services offered by Paytm like mobile recharge, DTH recharge, data card recharge. We can book air tickets, we can book taxis, we can buy, we can do shoppings, we can pay for fuel. Then we can pay bills like telephone bills, electricity bills, gas bills. We can buy or pay for mobile tickets at cinema halls through the wallet. We can pay at grocery store also. We can pay at supermarkets also with this application. Okay, so before Google Pay, I will just share a small video of this Paytm.
Hello viewers, welcome to Gadget Docket. Today in this section, let me tell
Sir, can you confirm it is audible?
And it is audible but not visible.
Not visible. Okay, just a second. I'll share again.
Hello viewers, welcome to Gadget Docket. Today in this section, let me tell you about a very interesting Android app called
Sir, can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Paytm.
It is audible also, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Well viewers, Paytm started its journey as an online mobile recharge website as well as an app. But today, it has spread its wings into various areas like movie ticket bookings, hotel room bookings, bus and train ticket bookings as well as online shopping. But the best of the features offered by Paytm, which I would say is the Paytm mobile wallet, an e-wallet. When I say an e-wallet, it just means it is like a small savings bank account where you can add money, transfer money from your account to your friends or relatives account. And why I'm telling
Yes, sir.
We just have a picture. We just have a picture. It is not moving.
It is like that only in the video. Then they will skip. It's an introduction.
Okay.
Telling about this app or the wallet today in this video is, you see viewers, our channel Gadget Docket mainly deals with the websites and the apps that enable the users to earn money online. And many of these websites and the apps that allow you to earn money online provide their cash or the reward in the form of Paytm Cash. And that's why I'm here today to explain how to use this Paytm wallet and how to redeem your Paytm Cash. Well, first of all, get into Google Play Store and download Paytm. The name of the app is Paytm. P-A-Y-T-M. And search for the app. Here it is. This is the app. Click and open the app, and here you will find an option called download. Click on it and download the app. But for this, I have also given you a direct link down below in my description section to download the app. Once the app is downloaded, let's get back. And let's open the app. Well, this is the main page of Paytm Android app. Before we begin, let's get into the profile section and register first. So sign in. Since we are new users to this app, let's sign up. So enter your mobile number here, your email ID here, and create a Paytm password here, and then click on sign up. As soon as you do this, you will receive a one-time password on the registered mobile number which you give here. Once you enter that one-time password in the required area, you can start using the Paytm app as well as the Paytm wallet. But viewers, please remember, the mobile number which you are going to give here will act as your official Paytm registration number or somewhat like that, which means all your Paytm transactions hereafter will be based on only the mobile number which you are going to give here. If suppose your friend wants to send money to your account, he will be sending it only to the mobile number which you give here. So please remember, once you register your mobile number here, please keep that number safe. So once registered, now we are ready to use the app. Right now we have registered on Paytm and we are ready to go with it. The blue section right here is the Paytm Wallet section. Let's see how to use it. Please click on Passbook so that you can view your transactions. Like you see, I have rupees 45.83 on my Paytm Wallet right now as a balance. You can see my transactions too. I have received rupees 25 from Taskbucks and rupees 50 from Slide. These things, Taskbucks and Slide, are online earning apps. We can also see how to use these apps and earn money on our channel Gadget Docket itself in our upcoming videos. So once you receive the money or you get the money on your Paytm wallet, you can send this money directly to your bank account. For that, please come back and select Pay or Send and choose the option Send to Bank. Here enter your bank details like account holder name, account number, bank's IFSC code, the amount you need to send, and click on send so that the amount will be sent in few minutes. You can also send the money to your friends or your relatives' bank account once you know their bank details, but the amount you can send is only from rupees 100 to 5,000 per transaction, but you can do as many as transactions as you like. You can also send the money from your Paytm wallet to your friends.
Now this limit is increased to 50,000. We can use this digital payment apps up to rupees 50,000.
Wallet. For that, please click on this option, mobile number, and enter the registered mobile number of your friend to whom you need to send the money, the registered Paytm mobile number. Enter the amount you want to send and click on send. That's it. You can also add money to your Paytm wallet from your bank account. For that, click on add money option. Here you need to select the amount, like you can add in multiples of 50s or 100s or 200s. Select the one which you like. Click on add money so that you will be given options to add money using your credit card, debit card or bank transaction. Select the one which you like and click add money so that the amount will be added. Using the money you have in the Paytm wallet, you can avail the Paytm services. They offer a lot of services. You can see what are all the services they offer, like mobile prepaid recharge, postpaid recharge, and DTH bill payment, and the list goes on. You can avail these services. It's not necessary you should have money in your Paytm wallet to avail these services. If you don't have enough money on your Paytm wallet, you can also use your debit card, credit card or your bank transaction to pay for this services.
Sir, am I audible? Sorry, I got a glitch.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just share that PPT again. Yeah. So next, we have the Google Pay, that is also called as GPay. It's one of the most popular digital payment application. So Google Pay, this application helps the users for online payment and tap to pay purchases on mobile devices, which also allows users to pay on a single tap. There are many advantages that users can also pay the bills. They can shop too. They can, whatever we have discussed for Paytm, that all services we can avail through Google Pay also. So there is one basic user here, that is the registered customer. So at the time of registering, customer is asked to link the bank to simplify online payment. So here customers can send and receive money, and they can also shop online from e-commerce websites and much more for online transactions. Customers also get cashback offers on special transactions. So I will share this GPay video also. Considering the time, I will not. I will just explain you now. Instead of sharing the video, I will highlight a few precautionary measures which you should take while using Google Pay, because in Google Pay there are maximum chances of frauds, that you can lose money from your bank accounts if you are using money, if you are using Google Pay without taking proper precautions. Now here in Google Pay application, the same process is there. That's why I have avoided sharing the video. You can download the Google Pay app from Google Play Store. The same process is there, that you need to register your mobile number. Now in Google Pay, your mobile number plays a major role. So you can make payments, and you can receive payments through your mobile number in Google Pay. So I will share one incident. I prefer to share the experiences and precautionary incidences rather than sharing the video here now, as we have already seen the Paytm video. So in Google Pay, I will share one incident that what happens. Many people use prepaid just to avoid huge mobile bills, right? Many people use prepaid cards, prepaid mobile numbers. So as per telecom industry's norms, if you will not recharge for 3 months any mobile number, that number, that telecom service provider can give to another customer. So the same number can they can give to another customer. So when you are using Google Pay, make sure that you will retain that number. And if you are not because of some reasons, if you are not using that mobile number in future, you should change the details in your Google Pay account. You should change the necessary details in your Google Pay account. So what happens? There was one person, I have just read this incident. There was one person who registered his mobile number to all the banking applications, to Google Pay. Then it was linked to his bank accounts. Then after some time, he stopped using that phone, that mobile number. Then, as I said, after 3 months, telecom industry can give that number to another customer. That number was taken by a new customer. And that customer, after activating that number, he started getting a notification for the previous user of that mobile number. So initially that person ignored, and then the notifications, he was getting the continuous notifications, bank balance alerts on his mobile number. What he did, he actually tried to log into that bank account. And as because of the mobile number was registered, he clicked on forget password. And as if you will click on forget password, they will ask you your mobile number which was available with him. He entered that mobile number, and that he after entering that mobile number, he got a notification to reset. He got a link to reset the password. Then by clicking on that link, he got access to the bank account of previous users, and he made a big fraud. He transferred all the money from that bank account. He did shopping and everything. And then later on, after doing that, when the previous user checked his bank balance, he came to know that he was looted with this fraudster. Okay, so there are some, I'm going to highlight the points here in this session, that what we need to consider while using all these digital payment applications. Next, one of the most popular digital payment application is Bhimpe Application. That is, Bhim stands for Bharat Interface for Money. It is a mobile application developed by National Payment Corporation of India, that is NCPI, based on the Unified Payment Interface, that is UPI. So it was launched by Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, on 30th December 2016. And it is developed by 28-year-old Nikhil Kumar. So I will share this Bhimpe application video. Just a minute. Sir, just let me know how you can hear or not.
Yes, ma'am, it is audible but not visible.
Okay. I will share again. I hope it is now visible.
Yes, ma'am.
And audible too?
Yeah, ma'am.
आज इंडिया में आए दिन कैशलेस इकोनॉमी की बात हो रही है और इसको लेके खुद हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी काफी कोशिश कर रहे हैं और इसी कोशिश के तहत उन्होंने 30 दिसंबर को भीम नाम की एक एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च की थी, जो कि पेटीएम, मोबीक्विक और फ्रीचार्ज जैसे वॉलेट्स का एक रिप्लेसमेंट है। आपको बता दूं कि जो नई एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च की भीम नाम की, आप जब इसको यूज़ करेंगे तो आप सारे मोबाइल वॉलेट्स को भूल जाएंगे, क्योंकि मोबाइल वॉलेट से जब आप बैंक में पैसा ट्रांसफ़र करते थे तो वो थोड़ा सा क्लटर्ड प्रोसेस था, लेकिन इस ऐप का यूसेज एकदम आसान है और इसको समझने में भी आपको ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा। इनफैक्ट मैं आपको बता दूँ कि जब आप इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज़ करेंगे तो आप खुद भी अपनी जेब में पैसे नहीं रखना चाहेंगे। तो चलिए देखते हैं कि कैसे करते हैं इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज़ और कहाँ से करें इसे डाउनलोड। तो इस एप्लीकेशन को इंस्टॉल करना बहुत ही आसान है। आप सिंपली प्ले स्टोर खोलेंगे और यहाँ पे लिखेंगे भीम ऐप और डायरेक्ट आपके पास भीम ऐप नाम की एप्लीकेशन ये खुल जाएगी। आप देख सकते हैं भीम लिखा हुआ है और इसका अगर आप लोगो देखेंगे तो कुछ हद तक इसमें जो कलर्स हैं वो इंडिया के फ्लैग की तरह यूज़ किया है, क्योंकि ये एप्लीकेशन जो है ये मेड इन इंडिया एप्लीकेशन है, इंडियन स्क्रीन बनाई गई है, इसलिए इसमें वाइट, ऑरेंज और ग्रीन का इस्तेमाल किया गया है। आप देख सकते हैं कि मैंने इस एप्लीकेशन को ऑलरेडी अपने फ़ोन में इंस्टॉल किया है, इसलिए मेरे सामने ये ओपन और अनइंस्टॉल का ऑप्शन आया है। तो चलिए अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि कैसे इस एप्लीकेशन को आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं। मैंने इस एप्लीकेशन को ओपन किया और जैसे आप इस एप्लीकेशन को खोलेंगे तो आपके सामने दो ऑप्शन आ जाएंगे कि आप इसको इंग्लिश में यूज़ करना चाहेंगे या इसे हिंदी में यूज़ करना चाहेंगे। और क्योंकि मेरे को इंग्लिश में ज़्यादा कन्वीनियंट है, इसलिए मैंने इस एप्लीकेशन को इंग्लिश में क्लिक करके ओके किया है। मैं नेक्स्ट करता हूँ और आप देख सकते हैं सारे इसमें स्टेप्स लिखे हैं कि पेमेंट मेथड यूपीआई से होगा, 24/7 हम पेमेंट कर सकते हैं और स्कैन क्यूआर कोड करके भी पेमेंट दे सकते हैं और रिसीव भी कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट कर देते हैं। यहाँ पे एसएमएस के थ्रू आप इस एप्लीकेशन को वेरीफाई करेंगे। लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। तो मैं इसको अलाउ कर देता हूँ। और अब देखिए, अब जैसे ही आप सब स्टेप्स को क्लियर कर देंगे, आपके सामने ये ऑप्शन आ जाएगा जहाँ पे आपको अपना मोबाइल नंबर वेरीफाई करना होगा। अगर आपके फ़ोन में 2 सिम कार्ड है तो आपके सामने 2 सिम कार्ड के लिए ऑप्शन आ जाएगा कि आप चूज़ करेंगे कौन सा सिम आप इसमें से अपना यूपीआई से लिंक करना चाहते हैं। आपको यहाँ बता दूँ कि आप इस एप्लीकेशन को जब इंस्टॉल करेंगे, आप इसमें वही नंबर डालें जो कि आपके बैंक अकाउंट से लिंक है, क्योंकि अगर वो नंबर आपके बैंक अकाउंट से लिंक नहीं है तो आप उसको यूज़ नहीं कर पाएंगे, आप अपने ट्रांजेक्शन को कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो मेरा वोडाफोन का नंबर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट से लिंक था, इसलिए मैंने उस पर क्लिक करके नेक्स्ट कर दिया है। आप देख सकते हैं मोबाइल नंबर वेरीफाइड लिखा है क्योंकि ये नंबर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट से लिंक्ड है। अब जैसे ही मोबाइल नंबर वेरीफाई हुआ, मुझसे ये पासकोड मांग रहा है ताकि मेरे एप्लीकेशन की सिक्योरिटी बनी रहे। तो मैं एक पासकोड डाल देता हूँ यहाँ पे। पासकोड सेट सक्सेसफुली लिखा है। अब आप देखें, जैसे ही एप्लीकेशन खुली, काफ़ी आसान, नीट और क्लीन एप्लीकेशन है, सिंपल सी बनी हुई है, कोई इसमें क्लटर नहीं किया ज़्यादा। इसको एप्लीकेशन को सेंड का ऑप्शन दिया है, रिक्वेस्ट का ऑप्शन दिया है और स्कैन एंड पे करके दिया, जिसमें आप क्यूआर कोड को स्कैन करके किसी को पे भी कर सकते हैं और उसी कोड के थ्रू आप किसी से पेमेंट रिसीव भी कर सकते हैं। पहले मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि ट्रांजेक्शन में क्या होता है। आप ट्रांजेक्शन में जाएंगे तो आपको सारी आईडी दिख जाएगी। देख सकते हैं कि मैंने इस एप्लीकेशन को पहले यूज़ किया था, मैंने इसमें से कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स की थी तो मेरे सामने ये ट्रांजेक्शन आ गई हैं। अगर मेरी कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन पेंडिंग होती तो यहाँ पे लिखी आती। प्रोफाइल में जाएंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं कि आपके सामने मेरी प्रोफाइल आ गई। मेरा मोबाइल नंबर रजिस्टर हो रखा है मेरी यूपीआई आईडी से और @UPI लिखा है, उसके आगे केशव खेरा मेरा नाम लिखा है। और जब भी किसी को मुझे पैसे भेजने होंगे वो मेरा मोबाइल नंबर लिख के @UPI लिखेगा और मुझे पैसे भेज पाएगा। और आप बैंक अकाउंट जाएंगे तो आपके बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल आ जाएगी। देख सकते हैं कि मेरा बैंक अकाउंट लिंक हो रखा है, मेरा IFSC कोड लिखा है और यहाँ पे 2 ऑप्शन भी दिए हैं कि अगर आप अपना यूपीआई पिन चेंज करना चाहते हैं और या रीसेट करना चाहते हैं तो आप उसको भी कर सकते हैं। और अपना बैलेंस भी देख सकते हैं। अगर आप इस बटन को दबाएंगे तो आपके बैंक में जितना बैलेंस है आप उसको भी चेक कर सकते हैं। तो अब मैं आपको इसमें पेमेंट करके दिखाता हूँ। मैं सेंड पर जाऊँगा और यहाँ पर मैं जिसको पेमेंट करनी है उनका UPI ID डालूंगा। जैसे कि अब मैं अपने कलीग को भेजता हूँ तो यहाँ पे देखिए अब ये पेमेंट एड्रेस मांग रहा है। तो मेरे सामने आप देख सकते हैं मैंने ऑलरेडी किसी को पेमेंट की थी। मैं इनको दोबारा एक बार क्लिक करके पेमेंट करने के लिए जाता हूँ और इस पर एक मिनिमल अमाउंट डालता हूँ। जैसे कि मैंने 10 रुपये डाल दिया है और अब मैं रिमार्क्स में भी टेस्ट लिख देता हूँ और इनको पे कर देता हूँ। और ये मेरा UPI पिन मांग रहा है यहाँ पे क्रॉस चेक करने के लिए कि मैं सही बंदा हूँ कि नहीं, और पेमेंट हो गई। काफ़ी आसान एप्लीकेशन है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी आपको इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज़ करने में। एकदम सिंपल और क्लीन UI है इस एप्लीकेशन का और काफ़ी अच्छी पहल है गवर्नमेंट की ओर से। सभी को परेशानी हो रही थी लेकिन गवर्नमेंट ने इसका सोल्यूशन निकाल दिया है। आप इस एप्लीकेशन को यूज़ करके किसी को भी पैसे ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। इनफैक्ट अगर आप किसी को पैसे भेजना चाहते हैं और उसके पास स्मार्टफोन नहीं है, उसको भी आप USSD कोड के थ्रू उसको पैसे ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। और अगर फिर भी आपको इस एप्लीकेशन को कोई परेशानी है तो प्लीज़ उसको हमारे कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखें, मैं उसे जल्द से रिप्लाई करने की कोशिश करूंगा। साथ ही साथ मेरे इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल।
Okay. I will just share the PPT again. Yeah. So you must be wondering that when I started this session, I have already explained about the UPI application. And again, there is a Bhimpe or a Bhim UPI applications I have included. So UPI applications, which I have mentioned earlier, that you can have individually from any bank account. So suppose my bank account is in ICICI. So if I want to register UPI with my unique name. So suppose I have registered by Sonali. So Sonali at ICICI, that is also a UPI ID. So here Bhim UPI ID is we can download the application like Google Pay or Paytm, and we can use that UPI ID which is registered on this Bhim UPI Bhim app for making and receiving payments. Now, as I say, you have seen in the video, that that person sent a test money of 10 rupees. So whenever you want to make a more payment, big amount payment to anyone, always make sure that you will make a small test payment. like say 1 rupees, you can make payment of 1 rupees also by using all these applications, whether it is Bhimpe, whether it is GPay, or whether it is Paytm. In all application, or any other UPI ID which is you have connected through your bank account. So for any payment, digital payment applications, you can make payment even for online from your bank account, if which is not a part of this session, but just sharing for your knowledge that whenever you want to transfer money from your bank account, make sure that you will make a test payment if you are making first time. If you have already registered the beneficiary in your bank account and you are making regular payment, then the case is different. But if you are making a payment first time, always try to make a small payment. If you are scanning a QR code in store when you are doing shopping, again, that is the different scenario. It is in front of you only. The vendor immediately confirm you that whether that person has received payment or not. But when you are transferring payment to other person who is not in front of you, always make sure that you will do a test payment. If you are doing first time, you can do transfer of 1 rupees, and after that you can confirm, and never click on any link which is not verified. Like suppose you are making you are shopping on Amazon, so there is one option that you can make payment online through the link after getting the delivery. So that link is authorized link given by Amazon service provider. So that link, you can click on the link, you can follow the instructions, and you can make the payment. But random link, if you are receiving on your mobile phone that your bank account have received 10,000 rupees 10,000, and to get that money click on this link, definitely it's a fraud. So never click on those links. If you will receive from the bank, then also bank will not, your bank service provider will not send you that this kind of links that click on the link to receive the payment, click on the link to make the payment. Okay, so don't click on the this is a scam, this is a virus. So we have discussed various digital payment services. So there are various advantages, like it is easy and convenient. You don't need to take lots of cash with you. All you need to have is your mobile number or Aadhaar number or a card to pay. So in mobile number, you need to download your various UPI applications and e-wallets to make the digital payment easier. Then you can pay or send money from anywhere. So I have just observed in this pandemic scenario, many senior citizens, like before this pandemic scenario, senior citizens were not that techno savvy, and they avoided to use all these mobile applications for banking transactions. But it was very convenient. Even I have few neighbors who are senior citizens. They are taking my helps to learn the various things of that. To learn various things of mobile application. So it becomes very easy for them to do a transactions. There is one neighbor auntie. She order grocery through mobile app. She orders medicines, and she make payment by using her this GPay. So we can pay or send money from anywhere with digital payment modes. We can pay from anywhere, anytime. And we all have, like I have discussed, that we all have faced this quarantine kind of scenario first time in our life. So it was like a house arrest for everyone. And in that phase, there will be at least one time in our life we feel that we are blessed because of this technology. Immediately because of this technology, we started schools, online education started, online work started. Many people were working from homes. This was possible because of the technology we have currently. Then as it was shown in the applications also, like government has announced many discounts to encourage digital payments. Government is focusing to have a cashless transactions. And one more advantage I have added here, that many times we feel that we should control our spendings, especially cash spendings, and we should plan our money smartly. And for that, many times, means my father have the habit that they don't use all this digital payments application and all. Slowly he's also learning, but before all this technology and all, he made sure that he will note down all his income and expenses every day. He has a business, so whatever will be that day's earning, he will write in one column, and the spending of that particular day in another column. That way he control his spending, but he is very devoted for that writing. Whatever may be the scenario, at the end of the day, he will sit and he will note down. But often we forgot to note down our cash spending when we decide to watch out our spending. So even if we note, it takes a lot of time. But we don't need to note our spending every time with this digital payment. These are automatically recorded in our passbook or inside your e-wallet apps. There are various applications also which will have the control on our spending. We can plan our money smartly by using those applications also. So this digital payment apps, we get the notification in our messages that we have spent. So automatically it get recorded whenever we will get the time. We can check out our spending. So ultimately this helps to maintain record, track our spending and budget planning. But as I said, that there are some, every coin has two sides, so as the digital payment. So despite many advantages, still I will suggest the advantages are more than the drawbacks. So it is always good if you will use various digital payment services. So digital payments also have certain drawbacks, like it is difficult for a non-technical person. I have shared one experience about the person who was using prepaid mobile number, and when he stopped using, he got looted by the different by the user, the new user of that mobile phone. There was one experience shared by cyber cell department, that there was a group of friends. So उसमें से एक जो lady थी, she lost her mother. So all other friends went to offer their condolences at her place. She was mourning, she was busy with the relatives. So one of the friend thought that I will book a hall for the prayer ceremony. So for that, she searched on the Google that the prayer halls, nearby prayer halls, and she got one Gurudwara's number. So that was the registered number. It was on a just dial, or we get in a Google, no, that was edited details. So she got one number. She called to that person about for booking the hall, for booking that Gurudwara for prayer meetings. So that person checked with the dates. He talked very nicely with that lady, and he guided everything, like what will be the charges, how much capacity is there in that Gurudwara. So and the payment terms and payment details. So she was she was okay. So she said that she said to that person that book that Gurudwara for the prayer meeting on so and so date. So that person said that ma'am, for confirmation you just need to pay 50 rupees. So she thought that why should I ask my friend for just mere 50 rupees. So he said that you will get one link on your mobile applications, and after making payment, after clicking that link, your this Gurudwara will get booked for the prayer meeting. So she clicked on that link, she paid 50 rupees, and that person said that yes, I have received the 50 rupees. And she was like, I have, to some extent, I have helped my friend. She was happy. Then suddenly she started getting notification from bank account that 20,000 withdrawal, 25,000 withdrawal, 50,000 withdrawal. So in a fraction of seconds, almost 5 lakhs withdrawal from her account, which was almost all the money she was having at that time, got withdraw from that account. She rushed to the cyber cell and they come to know that it is a scam. So whenever you get certain mobile numbers from or some certain contact numbers from any internet service providers, just confirm that whether that number belongs to them and don't make any kind of payments blindly. So there is a risk of data theft also. I have given already example of that mobile number. If your mobile number is registered, it means you are getting notification on that number. So if by any chance suppose you lost your mobile number, mobile phones, make sure that you will change your details, that you should contact your banks, just stop just deregister the mobile number which was which is lost. So there is a big risk of data theft associated with the digital payment. So hackers can hack the server of the bank or the e-wallet you're using, and easily they can get your personal information. They can use this information to steal money from your bank accounts. Then there is a drawback of overspending also, like as there is an advantage that we can track our spending. The same way, if we are spending by physical cash, we can limit the cash, that how much cash we will carry every time. But your whole bank account you can carry in this digital payment application. So you keep a limited cash in your physical wallet, hence you think twice before buying anything. But if you're using digital payment mode, you have all your money with you always. So this can result in overspending. So there are certain do's and don'ts you need to follow for digital payments, like make sure that you are on correct website, you are not on a wrong website, you are not on a clone website. There is a clone website also. Many times, like there was a big scam happen with the SBI bank few years back, that hackers made a clone website of State Bank of India, and many people lost money from their bank account. And whenever you choose password, that should not be easily decoded. You should always use a PIN. Now PIN code, normally these applications have a PIN code, which is normal 4-digit or 6 digits number. So make sure that you will not use your date of birth or your year of birth or your family members' date of birth or year of birth. So it is very easy for hackers to get this information through various social media apps like Facebook, Instagram. There we always share our memories. So it is easy for the hackers to get all these details, that the date of birth, your anniversary date. So avoid all these numbers when you set the password. Then always delete browser settings, history, and cookies after logout, and be sure that you log out from your office PC or laptops, and from your mobile also. In mobile, normally this is the login is consistent, but you can always have a PIN code or a pattern lock in your mobile phone. Then monthly checking and check credit card statements carefully if you are using credit card for Paytm. Do not disclose your personal information like credit card number, your PIN code, or your password. And never keep other browsers open when you are doing any work, bank related work. Suppose I'm using internet banking through my laptop, so I will make sure that I will not have any window open in the background. Then never download or open any links. I have already shared this. And don't tell anyone your ID and password. This I have shared in a previous digital literacy seminar, that you should always have 2 email IDs. One is for personal use and one is for the social media. Like many times we need to enter our email ID for registering. Like suppose we want to register ourselves on Instagram, then Facebook or any other applications, we need to mention our email ID. So there we can use one email ID, and for banking and for our personal transactions, we should use one email ID, which will be exclusive for our banking operations. Okay. So that's it. I have. Is there any doubt, sir?
Participant, if you have any doubt, you can put it down in the chat box.
There's no doubt. There's someone trying to say.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, it's Vasan Mohan. Sir, you can type in chat if because you're not audible. Vasan Mohan, sir, you can type in chat.
Okay, let me check. Okay, sir. Vasan, sir, you can unmute yourself now.
What is the best digital platform for transactions? See, whatever I have, see, any platform is safe for any for digital transactions. You can use your banking applications. You can use all these digital payment services applications which I have shared. All are safe unless and until what precautions or what safety measures you follow while using these transactions. As I have shared in the last slide, do's and don'ts. If you will follow all these precautionary measures, every application or every digital platform is safe for transactions.
Any others? If you want to ask any question, you can unmute yourself.
I hope I have satisfied you. How is net banking for transactions? Yeah, internet banking is also good for banking transactions, but nowadays, because of this Android system, we can have this mobile applications for our banking transactions. That is more convenient and easy to understand for making banking transactions through our mobile rather than using internet banking. Is more secured and safe. There are more steps they have involved, like for example, if you have you are using internet banking of ICICI Bank, for instance, you have to enter your password, which is set by you. Then you will get one more password from bank on your mobile message, that is like OTP. You need to enter that password, and then the third step is you need to enter the OTP also. So you can use the internet banking also, but if you have already installed the mobile application of ICICI, for instance, there is also another pattern lock you can set to that application also. You can set a pin also. You can have, nowadays many mobiles we have with the fingertips access. So we can use the fingertips access also to make the transaction. Any more doubts?
Any other?
I hope I have satisfied your query. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think there is any other doubt other than this. So thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and joining with us and sharing your knowledge with us. And definitely this will help us to understand how to make the payment while we make the transaction.
Thank you so much, sir. It is my pleasure that I got this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you, every participant. And Special thanks to our principal, sir, our college, and Nabard.
Thank you, ma'am.
Then may I lead, sir?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, ma'am. You too, ma'am.
Reality of our times. Nabard is aware of the impact it can have on agriculture and has evolved models which are in sync with ecology. It has earned the accreditation of being a National Implementing Entity (NIE) under national and international climate finance funding mechanisms for overall project implementation and monitoring of the climate change projects in India. An old Indian saying states that gods reside where women are respected. At Nabard, we have cherished women empowerment as a major organizational objective and made it a central theme of every development project. Not surprisingly, our flagship project in this area, the Nabard SHG Bank Linkage Program, is today the largest microfinance program in the world, covering more than 95 million poor rural households. In the new digital world, Nabard has initiated a project to bring self-help groups on a digital platform called eShakti. Under the Financial Inclusion Fund, Nabard has undertaken financial literacy campaigns through various stakeholders in rural India. The fund has also been used extensively to propagate financial technology among the resource-poor banks. Another silent revolution started by Nabard running across India is the Joint Liability Groups program, which enables farmers and oral lessees to access farm credit even though they are not title holders of the land. Over 2 million joint liability groups have been promoted, and credit dispersals to these groups has seen a consistent rise. Off-farm sector holds the future for a significant portion of rural communities. Nabard has evolved several refinance and promotional schemes for the development of off-farm sector in response to ground-level requirements. Skill development and promoting entrepreneurial culture among the rural youth have been key components of Nabard's support. Alongside, Nabard provides marketing opportunities to rural artisans and producers by sponsoring their participation in exhibitions across the country. Rural financial institutions are a vital ingredient of India's growth story, and Nabard sees them as a critical part of the Indian rural credit system. Each year, Nabard undertakes nearly 300 inspections of rural financial institutions across the country, and in the process, helps them develop sound banking practices. Alongside, Nabard works steadfastly towards building their internal capacities and bringing professionalism into their organizations and operations. Nabard has brought more than 200 cooperative banks with nearly 7,000 branches across the country fully into the CBS platform through cloud computing. This will ensure government subsidies and payments directly into the bank accounts of its customers. Taking up such a diverse portfolio of responsibilities requires matching infrastructure internally. Nabard works through a nationwide network of regional offices to meet these challenges. At the district level, district development managers of Nabard work with stakeholders ranging from informal groups to district administration to banks, while the regional offices are the biggest partners in progress of their respective state governments.
Being the apex financial institution and being a developmental financial institution, you have to work with various entities to solve problems of farmers, agriculture, rural development, and Nabard has seamlessly worked with state governments, central government, non-governmental organizations, as well as some of the people's representatives in panchayats, etc., to carry the mandate of development forward. This endeavor for developing rural areas as per their aspirations, we have large number of youth, so demanding a lot of new things in rural development, and we are gearing Nabard and the entire rural credit system for effective delivery, for fulfilling rural aspirations and enhancing farmers' income.
There is a belief that the banyan tree is great not because of its trunk, but because of its offshoots. Nabard stands by this belief and by its partners who enable it to reach out to rural India. State governments with their line departments, banks, multilaterals, bilaterals, NBFCs, over 4,000 civil society organizations, nearly 150,000 farmers' clubs, universities and corporates who share Nabard's vision of rural prosperity. But our most important partnership is with those whom we seek to help. The millions of rural Indians who dream of equal opportunities and economic prosperity. These dreams and their fulfillment have been the pole stars of our enriching journey. Nabard, Development Bank of the Nation for fostering rural prosperity.
Yeah. So the participant next I would like to call for the validity function. I would like to call Dr. Pratima Singh ma'am. She is the principal of Chandraban Sharma ASC College of Mumbai. Ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank Principal Dr. Jitendra Aherkar and entire staff at BL Amlani College for inviting me as a resource person in the valedictory session for an e-conference on a very well appreciated topic promoting financial and inclusive growth. The conference is supported by national agency Nabard, that is National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. The role of Nabard in the development of Indian economy, especially in the agricultural and rural sector, is remarkable. So let us all thank Nabard once again for supporting this conference, a noble cause. Coming to the topic of the conference, that is promoting financial and inclusive growth. Financial and inclusive growth is need of the hour. Lopsided growth will definitely create problem in the long run, and inclusive growth is the only solution for this. In the financial sector, it is very important that everyone gets equal opportunity and access to the credit assistance, be it farmers, artisans, small businessmen, small traders, all needs financial inclusion. Government and its various agencies like RBI, Nabard, various public sector banks, they play a major role in achieving financial inclusion for the growth of the economy. Today's conference is a small but very, very important step for creating awareness in the area of financial inclusion and raising the concern issues in the same area. So therefore, it is well appreciated by the academicians and industry, the role of Nabard and the role of the college in creating awareness. From my side, best wishes. Thank you very much. Looking forward to a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is a proud and a great honor for us to organize our national conference on Nabard, promoting the capacity building for the rural youth. The main objective of the conference is to bring the eminent economists, professors, and researchers from different colleges, universities, and even the representatives from the different states in the single platform. The proceeding of the conference would be useful for this section of the society. I'm very glad that we have received a large number and the quality papers for the various institutions from all the corners of the country, which include both the theoretical and the empirical work. The financial assistance received from the Research and the Development Fund of the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, Nabard, towards the publication of the journal printing. Proceeding of the conference was greatly acknowledged. I am thankful to our chairman, Shri Mahendra Sir Gilani, for giving us a strong support and encouragement whenever we required. And we are thankful for the Talent Publication House for the enormous support whenever we have needed. We can see, or we can have a look on that number of people what we have just gone through with or we have received in our particular conference. The paper are so valuable, the paper are so meaningful. The researcher has not given the paper just for our namesake. They have really worked on to put the exactness, what exactly the situation need to be changed on, exactly why the Nabard has been working and what the new contribution they can bring on. So the researcher has really worked on that area. I can see a number of papers there. I could not elaborate or I could not exactly name what the paper they have been the author's name, but the paper are very fabulous. The paper are very worked in a very well manner. I thank each and every participant. I thank each and every researcher for the enormous participation that you have participated and made the webinar very successful. I'll be sharing a link here. So by filling the form, you can avail your participation certificate. And by Monday afternoon, I can assure you to provide you a soft copy of your Nabard book. the book which we have been printed and the book which has your paper. I can assure you to provide you by Monday. So by today evening itself, you can avail your participation certificate, and by Monday afternoon, you can avail your soft copy of your proceeding. So I'll be just sharing a link in the chat box. Kindly fill the link as early as possible to make a record. Thank you.